What's up, YouTube? Timu's here. Now, I of course just in my videos talk about my top 100 anticipated films. I of course did from 100 to 21. So here is my official top 20 anticipated movies coming out in 2023. So here is my official, my final official list. All right, number 20. I'm gonna go with the Netflix movie Shirley. Now, Shirley follows the is a biopic about Shirley Chisholm, America's first black woman to run for congressman. And of course, you got Regina King's in this, who I think is always terrific. You got Terrence Howard, Les Reddick, Lucas Hedges, Andre Holland's in this. Talk about a good cast. It's directed by John Ridley, who did a good job with American Crime, that ABC limited series a couple years ago. So got some interesting cast members involved here. I think sounds like really fascinating. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to check this one out. Could this be Regina King's second Oscar? Who knows? But it does sound really intriguing. All right, number 19, I'm going to go with Rustin. Now, this is directed by George C. Wolfe, who directed Chadwick Boseman's final movie, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which I believe scored a nomination for Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. And Rustin is about gay civil rights activist Bayard Rustin, who organized the 1963 March on Washington. Now, this stars Coleman Domingo, who was great in the movie Zola last year. He also appeared on Euphoria, The Walking Dead. He is a terrific, tremendous actor. Could this be his first ever Oscar? Who knows? Of course, this is from the same writer of Milk, and that movie did win Sean Penn an Oscar. So could the same be said for Coleman Domingo for this? Who knows? But besides Coleman Domingo, the cast is really interesting. You also got the likes of Chris Rock, Glenn Durman, CCH Pounder, Bill Irwin, Jeffrey Wright. Talk about a good cast list here. It sounds really fascinating. So I love these type of true stories. So I'm really looking forward to check this one out when it premieres. All right. Number 18, I'm going to go with Spaceman. Now, this is supposed to be Adam Sandler's first ever sci-fi drama he's ever done. He's done dramas, but he never really done these type of films before. And this is actually from the same director of Chernobyl. And besides Sandler, you also got Carey Mulligan, Paul Dano, Raj from A Big Bang Theory, Kunan. They are also in this. Talk about a terrific cast list here. It sounds really fascinating. It is based on a book, and if you guys don't know much about the story here, it stars Adam Sandler, who plays Jacob Prozaska, who's this orphan who was as a boy was raised in a siege countryside with his grandparents, and he overcomes his odds to become the country's first astronaut. And this sounds fascinating. I mean, I've always mentioned this. I love Adam Sandler's comedies, whether it's his classics like Billy Madison, Big Daddy, Happy Gilmore. But lately, when he goes into the dramatic territories, whether it's Uncut Gems, Hustle, he knows how to do it. And this is, of course, a new Netflix movie he's doing. He has a couple of other Netflix films coming next year, too. Like, he's in Murder Mystery 2. He's in something called You're Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah, which sounds really cool, too. But this may be my most anticipated one. I think this sounds really fascinating. You got Carey Mulligan, who I think is always great. Paul Dano's having a great year here. Looks like he's going to have a better year next year. So, talk about a cool cast list in this. All right, number 17, I'm going to go with the Marvels. Of course, the follow-up to Captain Marvel. Now, even though I like Captain Marvel, I probably wouldn't be as excited for this if I had not seen Miss Marvel. After the ending of Miss Marvel, I'm more pumped for this. I mean, Miss Marvel, I just thought, I know it was an excellent series, and seeing her team up with, seeing Kamala Khan team up with the likes of Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, I'm pumped to see. I'm looking forward to see where they're gonna take this at too. It sounds like it can be really fascinating. There is, of course, a synopsis that was just added. That sounds cool. So I'm really pumped to see this one. Hopefully, we get a trailer in February because that's when AntMan and Wasp Quantumania comes out. So we'll see. All right. Number 6. Speaking of AntMan, Number 16, I'm gonna go with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Of course, this will be the first, like, pretty much the first film in Marvel's Phase 4 or Phase 5, I meant to say. Uh, and of course, after like Phase 4, which I actually quite enjoyed and all, but I admit it wasn't as great as the other phases. I still enjoyed Phase 4, but some of them did have problems. But I'm really looking forward to see where they take this new Phase 2. And Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania being the first film in the Marvel's Phase 5 lineup, I think it's fascinating. Of course, you got John Majors as the major MCU villain of King the Conqueror. Rumor has it that Fantastic Four might make their debut in this. We'll see if that actually happens. We're supposed to be getting MODOK supposed to be in this. I'm excited for this nonetheless. I love the first two Ant-Man movies. Disappointed no Michael Pena, but maybe it'll still be great. So yeah, I'm really pumped to see this one. Of course, after that trailer that got released not so long ago, I'm hoping for great things. Number 15, I'm gonna go with Maxine. Now, one of my favorite, or I should say, two of my favorite horror movies this year was both X and Pearl. I mean, X was literally a movie I did not really knew too much about. I knew it was like directed by Ty West, who's made some cool stuff, but I didn't know much about it going in. And I fell in love with X. I thought it was so well done. It was a cool gore fest. It was so entertaining. I mean, and the best part about those two movies was the performance by Mia Goth. And of course, Mia Goth, played both Maxine and Pearl in the first X movie. Then, of course, she would go on and play Pearl again in the movie Pearl. And so, seeing her come back as the real Maxine, I think it's intriguing. I mean, if you guys don't know much about the story in this one, it follows Maxine, once again played by Mia Goth, who is the only survivor of the bloody incident of X, as she continues her journey towards fame to be an actress in the 1980s LA. I'm really excited for this thing. I think Mia Goth she's also in that movie Infinity Pool, which I talked about in a separate video. I think Mia Goth is terrific. After Pearl and X, I'm excited to see her in another horror film. I think this, if I kid you not, if Maxine comes out and is as good as X and Pearl, I'm just saying right now, there might be a conversation where I might add this in maybe my top 10 favorite trilogies of all time. This is an unexpected trilogy I never expected. And I'm really pumped to see this one, especially after that teaser that dropped, at the end of Pearl. I'm excited for this. I'm hoping it's as good. Rumor has it that this might not come out until 2024, but I could see it coming out a little earlier, but we'll see. All right, number 14, I'm going to go with Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Now, the first Shazam is maybe my favorite movie, is one of my favorite movies in the DC universe that was established. That first Shazam was much better than it had any intention to be. I had a fun time with it. Zachary Levi, I thought was great. I just so much adored it. And so I'm looking forward to see where they take this new sequel to. It looks fascinating, looks very intriguing. You got Rachel Zegler's also in this. Villains played by Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. I'm excited for this thing, especially seeing the family involved in this once again. I'm excited to see where they're going to take this one to. Number 13, I'm going to go with the Holdovers. Now, this is directed by Alexander Payne, who's directed movies like Sideways, Election, and big reason why I'm excited for this one. Although his last movie, Downsizing, with Matt Damon, well, maybe his weakest movie in recent years. But this does reunite Alexander Payne with his Sideways star, Paul Giamatti. That tells you something there. And here's what the film's about. Sorry about that. The disliked Deerfield Academy teacher, Paul Hunnam, played by Paul Giamatti, is put in charge of supervising Angus, a smart and rebellious student unable to journey home for Christmas. Joining them is Mary, the school's head cook. And I think this sounds really fascinating. Paul Giamatti, obviously one of the greatest actors there is, and one of his best performances will always be in the movie Sideways, and seeing those two reunite, I think it's magical there. So I'm hoping for great things. Fingers crossed is as good as Sideways, and not another downsizing, but we'll see. All right, number 12, I'm going to go with the movie Wizards. Now, this is an A24 release, directed by David Michaud, who directed Animal Kingdom, the movie that is, The Rover and the King. Now, here's what this is about. It is a stoner comedy starring Pete Davidson, who I know lots of people always trash on him because of his dating life and everything. I like Pete Davidson. I think this I think this dude's hilarious. I like him on SNL. He was great in King of Staten Island. I even liked him in Buys. Cannot wait for his new show with Joe Pesci, which I'll talk about that in my TV talk. But this here, also starring Naomi Scott, Orlando Bloom's also in this. Almost said Orlando Brown. Yeah, he's in a different. Yeah, Orlando Brown's probably in the. Yeah, he's probably in a different role. But anyway, all right. Here's what was this about. It's an A24 stoner film where the problems of two unlikely beach bar operators starts where they find stolen loot that they really should have left alone. It's an A24 film. It's a stoner comedy from the same director of The Rover. I'm all pumped for this thing. I think this sounds like really fun. You got Naomi Scott, who I always think is great. So seeing her in this could be cool. Orlando Bloom is really nice to see him preparing something like this. So I'm intrigued to check this one out. Hopefully it'll be so cool. All right, number 11, I'm going to go with Wish. I was not even interested in this until they announced it at D23, and especially when Ariana DeBose, who of course won her Oscar for West Side Story, her coming on, on stage in that video, perform one of the songs for this. Just from, I don't know what else is coming out. Like what other music will be coming in 2023. I tell you right now, that song that Ariana DeBose just, sung on at D23, which of course is being used for this film. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be an early lock for the Oscar for Best Original Song. I don't know if this movie's going to be a lock for Best Animated Feature. Could it be another Strange World? Who knows? But the thing is, this is an animated musical, and I've said this before. Disney animated musicals, I feel, get more representation than non-animated musicals like recent Strange World, which I feel like if Strange World was more of a musical film, it would have been, it would have probably had a better reputation and stuff like that. But this, by the way, Wish, if you guys don't know much about the story here, it's where 17-year-old Aisha and her goat Valentino navigates Rose's The Kingdom of Wishes, where all wishes literally come true. Now, if you're a Disney fan, which of course we are coming up in the 100th anniversary of Disney, which, when I saw that movie Strange World, it was super cool seeing that like Disney 100th Disney anniversary logo attached. We're pretty much going to be seeing that throughout the new year and I guess going forward. That aside, if you guys don't know much more about the story, the star that is actually, which is actually a character in this, by the way, that star is actually let me try it. Yeah, you know how in every almost every Disney anime films, they're always like someone who wishes upon a star, whether it's like Pinocchio, whether it's like what other ones I can't remember one of them. Snow White probably, Princess and the Frog. This is pretty much about that origins of how that wishing star came to be. So that makes me really intrigued. The lead character is supposed to be Disney's like first openly binary character, which I know that lots of people. I can already hear the whining crybabies right now say, "Oh, I'm not seeing this. This is woke. This is woke. That's," and they don't know what woke is. But that aside, I'm interested in this nonetheless. I mean, Ariana DeBose, who was terrific in The Prom and West Side Story. I think she's awesome in everything I've seen her in. And hearing her voice in this, she's a good singer too. If you Like, if you have any doubts, watch her in the prom, watch her on Hamilton, or maybe or West Side Story. That girl could sing perfectly. So I'm excited to see this. Nonetheless, I'm of course Alan Tudyk's supposed to be voicing the goat because Alan Tudyk is the goat. So could be interesting. All right, now my official top 10 anticipated films. This is my official top 10. All right, number 10. I'm gonna go with Barbie. Now, let's be real. I'm a 30-year-old guy who should not even be excited for Barbie at all. But I'm excited for this. I'm sorry, especially after that little teaser that got released not so long ago. I'm pumped for this. It's for one, it's being directed by Greg Gerwig, who of course gave us stuff like Little Women. She gave us what else did she give us? Oh yeah, she also gave us Lady Bird. Her directing this piques my interest. Written by Noah Baumbach. I still gotta see that White Noise movie, but anyway, you also got like Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrell. Talk about a great cast involved. I'm excited for this thing. I think it like the teaser looks great. I cannot wait to see more of it. I cannot believe I'm next year when this movie comes out. I'm gonna be 31, and a 31-year-old guy like myself watching a Barbie movie. I don't know what's gonna be more embarrassing. A 31-year-old watching a Barbie film or a Paw Patrol film. But I'm so excited for Barbie, no less. I think this the teaser looks terrific. I'm hoping for great things. All right, as a horror nut, my number 9 pick is of course Scream 6. I mean, I know there are some people who are not all that excited for this because of the whole Nate Campbell situation. But you know what? I'm actually okay with Nate Campbell not being this. I love Nate Campbell. Don't get me wrong. I love Sidney Prescott, big time. But I'm really glad that they're really focusing more on the new characters than just relying on the OG characters. That's why I thought Ghostbusters Afterlife did pretty well. They didn't always rely on the OG characters. I mean, they of course did appear, but still. So I'm still excited to see this, and of course, it is set to take place in New York City. I cannot wait to see Ghostface literally stalk people in a subway station. I cannot wait to see that. Of course, you got Hayden Panettiere coming back as Kirby. I'm, despite the whole Nave Campbell not returning, I'm still excited for this. I'm hoping for great things, but we shall see. If this thing does really well, we could maybe get Scream 7, but we shall see if that actually does happen. But fingers crossed. All right. Okay, what else we got here? All right, my number 8 anticipated film. I'm gonna go with Dune Part 2. Now, a lot of people probably be like, "Why is this not higher?" I enjoyed the first Dune, but I just didn't love it as most people did. I'm still excited for the sequel, though. You got Dennis Villeneuve returning. Of course, this. Of course, the follow-up will explore the continuing journey of Paul Hastings, united with Chai and Freeman, as he seeks revenge against the conspirators who destroy his family, facing a choice between the love of his life and the faith known universe here. And of course, you got returning cast members such as Timmy Chalamet returning, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, with newcomers such as Christopher Walken, Florence Pugh, Austin Butler. I'm excited for this thing, nonetheless. I think the first film I thought was terrific, so I'm looking forward to see where they take this new one to. We're also getting a TV show as well, so that should be interesting. So, yeah, hoping for great things about this sequel. All right. Number 7, I'm of course going with speaking of Timmy Chalamet, by the way. Number 7, I'm gonna go with Wonka. Now I know lots of people are not a fan of this and are But I'm so excited for this. It is directed by Paul King, who gave us the first two Paddington movies. How can you not be excited for this? He literally, Paul King gave us Paddington 2. How could you not be excited for this at all? Now, if you guys don't know much about Wonka, the story will focus specifically on a young Willy Wonka and how he met the Oompa Loompas on one of his earliest adventures here. It is supposed to be a musical here. I mean, we've of course seen film adaptations of Willy Wonka. Obviously, Willy Wonka was played by Gene Wilder in the classic 1978 film. That was remade with Johnny Depp, and I really like how they're taking this approach of featuring a young Willy Wonka. Because instead of doing another remake and all, we're actually seeing who Willy Wonka was before he opened the chocolate factory. Before the kids found the golden tickets. I was just actually rewatching Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory on was it Freeform Games? I was rewatching on TV recently. That movie still holds up. To me, Willy Wonka is literally my second favorite movie of all time. It's just such a fun favorite childhood favorite of mine. So I'm looking forward to see where they take this new one too. I mean, I'm getting a bit of an Oz Great and Powerful vibe. Remember that movie? That featured a young wizard before he became the Wizard of Oz and all. I'm getting a bit of an Oz Great and Powerful vibe here. And so I'm still intrigued. Check this one out. I'm hoping for great things. Uh, of course, you also got Olivia Combs in this, Keegan Michael Key, Sally Hawkins is also in this. I'm hoping for great stuff. So we'll see. I mean, now Willy Wonka, has been played by Gene Wilder, Johnny Depp, and now Timmy Chalamet. Talk about interesting duration of Willy Wonka there, but I'm still super pumped for this one. And we're also going to be hearing music in this. Are we going to hear pure imagination popping up? Who knows? But I can, although I didn't really they didn't really show a trailer or anything like that. But I believe it was at CinemaCon last year, where they didn't show a trailer or anything. But there was a little preview for a little tidbit preview for for the Wonka film. And during they do play the song "Pure Imagination" that pops up. So could we be getting a possible trailer soon? I'm hoping it does come out in December, so we'll see. Maybe this CinemaCon, who knows? All right. Now my number 6 anticipated film is of course Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now of course this will be James Gunn's final film in the MCU and final film featuring the Guardians. This rendition that is. I'm still not ready to see Rocket die. I'm really thinking Rocket is gonna take the cake. I'm gonna have to bring some Kleenex because I barely cried, but I'm gonna really tear up if Rocket dies, man. I just love that character so much. But I'm so excited for this. You're gonna have the debut of Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter. I think that's gonna be terrific to see. I'm super pumped for this one. I thought the trailer that got released not so long ago looks amazing. So I'm hoping for great things, but what should I say? I mean, this is going to be one of Marvel's other films in the Phase 5 lineup, so I'm excited for this. I cannot wait to see what James Gunn has in store. I'm just hoping the whole Henry Cavill situation and everything, I'm hoping that doesn't hurt Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3's box office, but we shall say. All right, now my official 5 to 1. Number 5, you knew it was coming, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie was much better than it had any intentions being. I know that movie was excellent. Of course, it won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, well deserving there. Featuring Miles Morales, I think it's terrific. I mean, I'm hoping to see where they I'm really pumped to see where they're gonna take this new one too. I thought that the trailer that got released not so long ago looks terrific. They're all supposed to be doing another part as well, so can't wait to see that too. I cannot wait to see this when it premieres. I'm hoping we still get to see a live action Miles Morales, but I really think the Miles Morales is really going to stick to animation form, but we'll see. That aside, I can't wait to see this when it premieres. I'm hoping for great things. I trust the team behind this, so hopefully it'll be cool. All right. Number 4, I'm going to go with my show. Now, my show is directed by Bradley Cooper, and of course, the last time Bradley Cooper directed a movie, was A Star Is Born, and that movie is hands down terrific. Of course, you got Carey Mulligan's in this, Maya Hawke. If you guys don't know much about the story, it is of course about famed composer Leonard Bernstein and the complex love of Leonard and Felicia from the time they met in 1946 at a party and continuing true engagement, uh, a 25-year marriage, and with three children. And by the way, Bradley Cooper in this looks unrecognizable. I mean, the old makeup I think looks terrific. I mean, after seeing what he did with Stars Born, I cannot wait to see what he's going to do with this. I mean, Stars Born is so terrific. Um, and of course, Carey Mulligan, I think, is always great. She has some cool stuff coming next year. I mean, I love Carey Mulligan. Who doesn't love her? But and of course, this is supposed to be released by Netflix. And to top it off, not only is Bradley Cooper directing this, it's it's being produced by Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg, two of my favorite filmmakers of all time. So it has some great talent on board. But Steven Spielberg producing a Netflix film, that's something you barely see because he's not a fan of these streaming stuff. But hey, I'm pretty sure this is going to get a theatrical release. Of course, since Glass Onion and Knives Out was a huge hit, don't be surprised the majority of these Netflix movies get the Glass Onion treatment and actually go to major theater chains. Don't be surprised there if we see that actually happening in 2023. But we'll see. Speaking of Netflix movies coming next year, number 3, I'm going to go with The Killer. Now, this is, of course, directed by maybe one of the best filmmakers of all time, David Fincher. Of course, David Fincher, he last directed the Netflix movie Make, which was really good. And he's directed other movies like Zodiac. He directed Alien 3, maybe one of his last worst movie. He did Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Social Network. David Fincher is one of the best. Now, this is also based on a book here, and it's about an assassin who begins to psychologically crack as he develops a constant sense even as his clients continue to demand his skills. Now, this stars Michael Fassbender as well as Tilda Swinton. Between this and that Taika Waititi movie, Mexico wins. Could next year be the Fassbender Renaissance? Because Michael Fassbender, this guy has some cool films under his belt. Of course, he was in 12 Years a Slave. He was in Shame. He played Magneto in the X-Men movies. But the guy also stumbled with, Assassin's Creed, The Iceman. So, could we be seeing a Michael Fassbender Renaissance? I'm hoping, because I think this dude is a terrific actor. He's just been in some not so great films over the past number of years. But we shall see. And top it off, David Fincher coming back to the murder mystery genre. He does that well, whether it's Seven, Zodiac. I just love when David Fincher does these type of stuff. So hopefully this could be cool. All right. Number 2 is, of course, Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, this was my anticipated film of this year, but yeah, that did not even get released in 2022. This had, of course, been confirmed to come out in 2023. This is actually based on a book, and it's supposed to be, by the way, this is also supposed to be released by Appa. And I kid you not, this is literally Apple's most expensive movie to date. I can't remember how much the budget is, but I know it was expensive. This movie does star Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons, Lily Gladstone, and even Brendan Fraser, which he might win his Oscar for The Whale. This might actually get some Oscar love next year. Talk about a comeback for Fraser. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story here, it's where members of a Osage tribe in the U.S. are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. And come on, It's Martin Scorsese reuniting with both De Niro and DiCaprio. How can you not be excited for this? Besides Spielberg, Martin Scorsese is literally my second favorite filmmaker of all time. Whether it's Goodfellas, whether it's Wolf of Wall Street, whether it's The Irishman, I just love Scorsese's work. So I'm excited for this. I'm hoping for great things. Um, why the budget so? Let me pull up how much the budget is. Let me see. Kill the Flower Moon budget. Now, this movie will most likely premiere at Cannes. That's why. Sorry that. That's why they delayed it. You know. Kills the Flower Moon. Okay. I kid you not. The budget for this movie, a film that is a period piece film, by the way. Wait for it. The budget is 200 million. Oh boy, what? Why? I mean, The Irishman, I could understand, because of the de aging stuff and everything. This is a period piece film set in the 1920s about about like a murder involving murder investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. So I still need to know where this money came from, but hey, I'm so excited for it nonetheless. I love the talent vibe, so hoping for great things. So could be cool. Now, my number one anticipated movie coming in 2023 is from another one of the best filmmakers of all time, and that is none other than Christopher Nolan. That is Oppenheimer. This movie, of course, now Oppenheimer is, of course, about physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, who works with who of course works with a team of scientists during the Manhattan Project, leading to the development of the atomic bomb. Now, of course, you got Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Rami Malek, Josh Peck in a Christopher Nolan movie. That's something I never expect to ever happen. But yeah, of course, that trailer that got released not so long ago. My God, this looks so awesome. Of course, there was like that report about Christopher Nolan possibly dropping a real life bomb. Like, really? To make it look realistic. I mean, okay, that's that's still something I don't believe, but I'm still pumped for this. I love the cast involved. Nolan, except for Tenet. That's maybe the only Christopher Nolan movie I truly dislike. But other than of course, the Dark Knight movies, Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan has done some of the best films there is. So I'm excited for this. I'm hoping it's great. So we shall see. But that's pretty much it for my official or my top 100. Let me go ahead and do the quick rundown from 100 to 1. I'm not gonna go and talk about them again, but just a quick rundown. All right, 100 Freaky Tales, 99 The Beekeeper, 98 Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel, 97 Strays, 96 The Royal Hotel, 95 Napoleon, 94 The Expendables 4, 93 Tetris, 92 Here, 91 Are You There God It's Me Margaret, 90 Megan, 89 Magic Mike's Last Dance, 88 P Island, 87 Priscilla, 86 Flaming Hot, 85 Affinity Pool, 84 Unfrosted, 83 May December, 82 The Front Room, 81 I Saw the TV Glow, 80 The Bike Riders, 79 Bottoms, 78 Next Go Wins, 77 No Hard Feelings, 76 Untired Please Don't Destroy Film, 75 Wildwood, 74 Knock at the Cabin, 73 Champions, 72 A Haunting of Venice, 71 Salem's Lot, 70 The Dating Game, 69 The Covenant, 68 Landscape with Invisible Hands, 67 Spellbound, 66 The Beanie Bubble, 65 A Good Person, 64 Dungeons Dragons Honor Among Thieves, 63 Peter Pan and Wendy, 62 Ferrari, 61 Red One, 60 August, 59 Transformers Rise of the Beast, 58 The Barrel, 57 Hitman, 56 Last Voyage of Deadmare, 55 Renfield, 54 The Flash, 53 The Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, 52 The Iron Claw, 51 Air Jordan, 50 Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, 49 Asteroid City, 48 Challengers, 47 Starburn, 46 Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley, 45 True Love, 44 Poor Things slash End, 43 Pain Hustlers, 42 Night Bee, 41 Cocaine Bear, 40 Chicken Run Dawn of the Nuggets, 39 Nimona, 38 You People, 37 Rebel Moon, 36 Mission Possible Dead Reckoning, 35 John Wick Chapter 4, 34 Evil Dead Rise, 33 Fast X, 32 Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, 31 Blue Beetle, 30 Elemental, 29 The Super Mario Bros. Movie, 28 The Money, 27 Boston Strangler, 26 Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 25 The Color Purple, 24 The Little Mermaid, 23 Beau is Afraid, 22 How Do You Live, 21 Creed 3, 20 Shirley, 19 Rustin, 18 Spaceman, 17 The Marvels, 16 AntMan and the Wasp Quantumania, 15 Maxine, 14 Shazam Fury of the Gods, 13 The Holdovers, 12 Wizards, 11 Wish, 10 Barbie, 9 Scream 6, 8 Dune Part 2, 7 Wonka, 6 Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, 5 Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 4 Maestro, 3 The Killer, 2 Killers of the Flower Moon, and number 1 Oppenheimer. Let me lead you guys. What are some of your official top anticipated movies coming out in 2023? Like, were there some that was not listed? You know, what you think might actually sneak in next year that you're anticipating? Yeah, of course, I'm actually gonna do like some other lists and all in the near future, like soon. And I will be doing the same list where I'll be talking about my top anticipated TV shows coming next year as well. So keep an eye out for those. But that aside, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Tim Moves and signing off.